Picking back up with number 11, a coin problem. You always have one equation that will involve quantity, the number of items. That's the first sentence. There are 40 nickels and dimes. Add the nickels and dimes together, you'll get 40. The value of these coins, well, every nickel is worth 5 cents. Every dime is worth 10 cents. Together, add up all that money, you'll get 320 cents. Now, the way we were solving these systems was usually through elimination. We'd multiply so that when you'd add your two equations together, a variable would cancel out. So the thinking goes like this. What would cancel a 5n? Hopefully we'd all agree negative 5n would do the trick. So I'm going to multiply this equation by negative 5. We'll get negative 5n plus negative 5d. Negative 5 times 40 is negative 200. The n's cancel out. 10d minus 5d is 5d. This comes down to 120. At this point, we can divide to find the number of dimes. 120, when you divide by 5, you should get 24. You can double check that on your calculator. Now, we also know that n plus d is equal to 40. That was our first equation. We've got 40 coins, so n plus 24 is 40. When we subtract 24, we'll get 16. That's the number of nickels. Now, the wonderful thing is you can always double check if you're right by adding up to make sure you've got 40 coins and to also check the money value as well. Let's take a look at number 12. You and a friend take a 430-mile trip. You're going to share that trip. Part of the trip you will drive, part of it your friend will drive. So it says your friend is going to drive 4 hours with a speed of 64 miles per hour. So this is your friend's situation. Distance is equal to rate times time. Your friend's going 64 miles per hour, and we'll do that for 4 hours. If you were to very quickly check 64 times 4, you can see you get 256. So that's 256 miles that your friend has just driven. The thing is, you have to drive a total of 430 miles. So your friend didn't drive the entire way. What you can do is say, well, it's a 430-mile trip. Your friend drove 256 of those miles. There are 174 miles left. That's where you come in. You want to arrive at your destination in 3 hours. So you have distance is equal to rate times time. You know you have to cover 174 miles. You're going to have 3 hours to do that. And you want to determine what your speed would be. So you very simply divide by 3 and take 174, divide by 3, and you'll get 58. So it's 58 miles per hour. For 13, what you're going to see is x and y very directly. That means y is equal to k times x. X is going to be 1/3, and y is going to equal 5. Now, as soon as you see this, I hope you think of getting rid of a fraction. We can multiply both sides by 3 right here. 3 times 5 is 15, and that's your k value. So y is equal to k times x, 15 times x. That's what the equation is that relates x and y. So we take a look at number 14. I can subtract 5x. By the way, I'm deliberately subtracting the 5x here to remind you of something. 3x minus 5x is a negative 2x. So we have negative 2x plus 3 is equal to 11. got minus 3. 11 minus 3 is 8. So we have negative 2x less than or equal to 8. When you divide by a negative, you have to flip the direction of the inequality. Such an important aspect of inequality solving. Your final answer is x is greater than or equal to negative 4. Let's move on to number 15. Get your absolute value alone. Let's add a 4 to both sides. We'll have 2 minus 3x is equal to 5. Our little mnemonic has been 2 bars, meaning that we'll have 2 equations. First equation, just write 2 minus 3x equals 5. Second one, let's write 2 minus 3x equals negative 5. Minus a 2 on both sides, you'll have negative 3x is equal to 3. Divide by a negative 3, and you'll have x is equal to negative 1. Subtract a 2 over here, we'll have negative 3x is equal to negative 7. When we divide by negative 3, we'll have x is equal to 7/3. And here are your 2 solutions.